Hi guys, welcome to my fifth tutorial on Flask. Today we'll be talking about using Flask framework to render HTML template on our project in a project we are working on. So I have set up a basic things like the normal traditional hello world we used to have. That's one of our app we designed in one of our last class. So Flask is very easy to understand. So to what I mean by displaying HTML templates on our folder on our app is like this. Let me please excuse me. All right. So oh, system is faster than me. Okay, it's like displaying something like this. This kind of HTML. Like we want to display this on our app using Flask and the as Python as the backend. So something like this. So we want to give our app front end instead of returning the generic hello world we have been having lately. So this is what we will do. First thing you need to understand, Flask gives us a chance to do a lot of things. Like you can display HTML inbuilt, like saying have a form. Sorry, say I have HTML. Sorry, I have a form. I have a form close. I can say input. Oh, sorry, I'm not on Flask. As an input, let's just keep it basic. This will take a lot of time. I can just say h1. Hey, I'm not using autocomplete. h1 hello HTML, and I will close h1. So if we have this and we go to our app like this, close these guys. Get out of here. Alright, so we'll have this. Oh, I've not started my server, I'm very sorry. So I need to start my server. Type python hello.py. Okay, my server is running now, so I can now check. I can see we have hello HTML. Now to observe this, check, inspect this, you will see this is purely an HTML that is generated here, you can see. So we're able to display HTML, but nobody would like to be writing HTML inside a Flask like this. That's too cumbersome and it's very tedious. So this is not professional. So what we'll do now, we need to display a good HTML template here. So I've already get a template from Start Bootstrap. If you don't know what HTML means, I will leave a description below on how to what HTML. We can read some documentation of HTML. So this is the HTML we'll be using. So this is how our website, our web app will look like. We want to display all this on our web app. So what we will do now is that I will close this guy here first. This is how our app will look like at the end of this class. So I will first do something. Flask has something. If you are a web developer or a software developer, generally we have something in the industry called the MVC, the MVP. It's just a way of structuring your files. Flask has its own way of structuring its files, and especially when it comes to the HTML file and the static file. What I mean by the static file are your images, your CSS, your sound, your anything that apart from HTML, it's static file, and anything .html is a template to Flask. So they will all have a separate folder. So to be able to use Flask to display any HTML file, first thing you have to do, I will go to the directory where my Flask, where my hello app is. So I'll create a folder called template. Since I have this, and I'll create a folder called static. The static file will take in all the HTML file that we'll be having. The template file will take in all the HTML file that we'll be having, and static file will take all the CSS images file that we'll be having. So all I will do now, I'll go to the template I'll be using, which I download from Bootstrap. I'll give the link below in the description how you can get this template. So this is it. I'll copy this HTML file to my template folder here. Boom. Then we have our HTML. Now, to be able to display this HTML on our platform, on our web app, so we need to import a couple of things from Flask, something like render template. So we import render template from Flask. So once we import render template, what we will do now, we need to return render template instead of returning all this generic string we have been doing. So what we will do, say render template in front of return, and pass the name of the template, which is index. I want to return index.html. So once I save this, my server should restart. Okay, my server has restarted, so all I have to do is to go to this IP address here. So now you can see we are not returning the generic text we used to return on the screen like hello world. We are returning an HTML file. You can see how this. Now this HTML file is lacking something, which is the CSS file. What I mean by CSS file is the static file. The meaning of CSS is cascading style sheet, which will give this guy here beautification. So we need to put our CSS file inside the static folder directory. So I will navigate back to where I have my flask class. So next I will copy my CSS, my images, my JavaScript file, my SCSS and vendor. This is what we need for our HTML to be able to display very well on the screen. So I'll go back and paste this inside my static directory. Once I have this, okay, now I need to do something in my HTML. I need to tell my HTML that I've changed the directory. So I'll come to this index.html. So all I have to do now is to, let's say, put the name of the folder called static like this. Put it here. There is another way in Flask when we are talking about Jinja 2, that will be in our next class, I guess. So we can do this as an alternative way for this. So we are using static. I'll put static in everywhere. The images, where is the image? Okay. So this is the JavaScript. All I have to do is to pass static in front of all of them. Static. Boom. Then I have another static. Boom. So once I have this, if I should reload, boom. Wow. So we have this on our app. So this guy here is just here. So there is a picture missing here. There is a picture at the back of the clean blog. So which I will add. I'll tell Flask where the picture is. So the name static is like a reserved word. Is a is a kind of a fixed URL for Flask. If you don't put your files in static file, Flask won't be able to see your app, your static file. So I need to put the images. Where is the images? Okay, here we have the image. So static slash this. So if we set this